And a pleasant good evening, everyone, and welcome to Indiana High School basketball on IndianaSRN in conjunction with the Indiana High School Athletic Association. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Morales Group. The Morales Group, building better futures, one story at a time. By Burtner Electric, your licensed and experienced electrician serving Central Indiana. By IUPUI Sports Management, a lifetime of sport with a winning degree. Piper Logistics, 3 services, 1 logistical solution. And by Reynolds Farm Equipment, your hometown farm equipment dealer. And once again, a pleasant good evening, everyone, and welcome to Guerin Catholic High School, the site of tonight's matchup between Class 4A Muncie Central as the Bearcats travel to Guerin Catholic to take on the Class 3A Golden Eagles. Hi again, everybody. Jimmy Cook alongside the coach, Jalen Posey. So pleased you've chosen to spend part of your Saturday night with us here on IndianaSRN and the IndianaSRN family of networks. And as I bring Coach Posey into the fray, Coach, this is a matchup that has quite a number of storylines going with it. First, with the visiting Bearcats. You and I were both surprised by this. We had to double and triple check this going into tonight's game. An 0-21 campaign for the Bearcats a season ago with a number of players that are still on this roster. Coach Thompson in his 5th season, whatever you want to chalk that up to a year ago, that's in the garbage can. They've thrown it away, and they've started off this season with not a losing streak, but a winning streak, starting 2-0 on the young campaign.
Yeah, no, like I said before, I can't believe that they were 0-21 last year. They already had more wins this year than they had all of entire last season. So I think that, obviously you look at Coach Thompson in his 5th year, this is off to a better start than it was last year. And I think when you look at this game tonight, there's going to be a lot of fast-paced ball, a lot of good shooting. I think we can look forward to a good one tonight.
You've been inside these locker rooms. You know how tough things can be when you're on a losing streak like that. But to have the similar faces that you had a year ago and to know the culture has kind of reshaped itself and you're on a winning streak, it has to feel good not only on that coaching staff, but being one of the guys suiting up tonight.
Absolutely. They have 9 returning players from last year, and I think when you go through something like that with your guys, kind of literally the worst season you can have, right? Literally the worst season you can have. I think that now going back into this year, you start off with 2 wins. You kind of get guys buying into the culture. Not only kind of your older guys, you got a couple seniors on this team that went through it, that have said, hey, I've been at the depths. Now let's try to get to the mountaintop, right? But the young guys, too, that were able to see that last year, maybe on the bench. Now it's their turn to shine. So I think this year already starting off on that tilt is going to be good for them.
On the other side of the court, as we have a look at the student section here at Guerin Catholic, I'm assuming it's a Hawaiian night setup that we have going on for the Golden Eagles faithful, but a completely different story for this program by comparison to Muncie Central. They make it all the way to semi-state a year ago. They lost a number of players, just to name a few: Matthew Gillis, Joseph Abilia, Caleb Edwards, just 3 off the top from that Golden Eagles roster a year ago that made it all the way to semi-state. Won 21 games a season ago. We're locked in all of your depth positions that you could ask for. They've now lost 8 seniors to graduation, those 3 included, and they've been able to find at least a nice new star or new piece to lead on coming into this contest in the form of Will Grissom.
Yeah, absolutely. When I was doing my research for this game, I'm sitting here thinking, man, this guy must have been scoring for them since he was a freshman, right? Because he's a senior. And I go back and I look at it. He averaged 10 points a game last year. Nice addition to that team that got to semi-state. But then you look at, man, going through this year, he's already scoring 28.7 points per game. He's top 5 in scoring in the whole state this year. I think he's somebody that Muncie Central definitely has to know where he's at all times tonight.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll go over some keys to the game as well as evaluate starters for both these clubs as the Muncie Central Bearcats take on the Guerin Catholic Golden Eagles. More after this. You're watching High School Hoops on IndianaSRN. Welcome back to Guerin Catholic High School. Jimmy Cook alongside the coach, Jalen Posey. Bearcats of Muncie Central making the journey to Guerin this evening. 2-0 in the season. We already mentioned a year ago this is the club that had gone winless, but were able to put together already to start the year a nice 2-0 streak as they remain unbeaten. Meanwhile, the Golden Eagles 2-1 on the young campaign. Just that opening loss to Park Tudor by 11 to open the season. Since then, though, they bounced back to win 2 consecutive. Let's take a brief look at Muncie Central. Coach, off air, you had mentioned a little bit how this team at a lot of different positions, while it is a 2-game sample size, there's a couple names that really jump out at you from what you've seen from your scouting.
Absolutely. The first name that jumps off the page is Daniel Harris. He's averaging 13.5 points per game. The leading scorer. Loves to get out in transition from what I saw. Loves to attack the basket. Timothy Arnold Jr., who's averaging 11 points per game, 5.5 rebounds per game, and 3.5 steals per game. He is very instinctive. I mean, he likes to not only aggressively attack the ball, but also off ball. Sometimes he'll go and trap just randomly on his own. Very instinctive that way. And then who I told you is kind of a dark horse to be their best player is Malik Hazari. Is that how you say it? I think Hazari. Yeah. I mean, he 7.5 points per game, 4.5 assists per game. Great passer. And this guy has bounce. He's athletic as all get out. He's going to be somebody that Guerin Catholic definitely needs to watch out for tonight. I think any 3 of those guys could probably go off for 15-plus at any point. But it's only 2 games, so it's hard to know sample size.
For the Golden Eagles, it's kind of a similar boat, that 3-game sample size, albeit one more game. It's still very early in the season. Everybody across the state trying to figure out their identity, what they want to be as a program, where their strengths are, where their weaknesses are. But one number that jumped off the page for me was this Golden Eagles roster was giving up about 47, 49 points a game a year ago. They're giving up 60 now. It's easy to chalk that up to the loss of so many key contributors a year ago. How much of that is, in your mind, guys trying to find their role, and how much of it is just schematically trying to figure out what you have as a coach?
Yeah, I think a lot of it probably is guys figuring out how to find their role, because you can watch somebody do something all day. Doesn't mean you're going to automatically know what to do as soon as you get on the floor, or do it as well as they did. Sure. Especially a team that was semi-state, almost got the state championship game last year. And so I think these guys are going to have to figure out where their niche is defensively. And honestly, I don't think they're bad defensively. Watching some of their tape this year, they're pretty good man-to-man. Need to rebound a little bit better probably in the half court. But other than that, I really don't think they're that bad. I think they're going to continue to get better as we go on.
One of the areas that really intrigues me the most is this is 3 games, and we mentioned in that first segment, Will Grissom's averaging just a couple ticks south of 30.
Yeah.
That's a very impressive mark. I want to know if that's going to be sustainable for a whole year, or if it's going to be something where as other guys get involved, it doesn't matter if his average goes down, but if it's more like a 20-point score per game or a 19-point score per game.
Listen, I think that at the end of the day, when you have a player like this, you got to ride the hot hand. He's shooting 40% from the three-point line with 43s attempted. So at the end of the day, if you want to go far as this type of program, his points per game may dip a little bit. You're going to want to see contributions from other players as the season goes on. But this is clearly your guy, and you got to continue to go with him the rest of the year.
We're going to step out for the final time on our pregame show. When we come back, we'll go through coaches' keys to the game, as well as starters between Muncie Central and Guerin Catholic right here on IndianaSRN.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
You want a career that creates experiences that are impossible to forget. By studying sports and events at IUPUI, you'll get hands-on experience in and out of the classroom. And with Indy as your classroom, there are high-profile events, sports franchises, hotels, museums, and large organizations across the city to engage, educate, and enlighten your student journey before you graduate. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to prepare you to handle any event, big or small. It all starts here.
This is the Frells family's land. When the sun comes out, the kids run and play right there. This used to be a shed. Now, it's where they get breakfast. This is more than just land. It's home. The Frells family runs with us on a John Deere 1 Series tractor. His land isn't the only thing that should live on for generations. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere 1 Series for more.
Visit Reynolds Farm Equipment, your hometown John Deere dealer today at reynoldsfarmequipment.com.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
We'll make it work. Welcome back to Guerin Catholic High School. Side of tonight's matchup between Class 4A Muncie Central and the Guerin Catholic Golden Eagles. A look at some final notes on both of these teams. Guerin Catholic ranks 70th in the Sagarin ratings in all of the state of Indiana, 15th in Class 3A. Meanwhile, Muncie Central ranks 117th in the state, 58th in Class 4A. Last 35 years, Guerin Catholic leads the all-time series 7-1. Last time these two teams met, back on December 14th of 2019, a Guerin Catholic victory, 62-60. Let's take a look at the starters for both of these teams. First with the visiting Muncie Central Bearcats, again coming in at 2-0 on the season. At one guard, a 5'9 junior. Number 1, Daniel Harris, averaging 13.5 points per game. At another guard, a junior number 2, Malik Hassani, averaging 7.5 points per contest. At a third guard, a senior, number 4, Jalen Childress, averaging just over 3 points per game. Another guard, a senior, number 10, Timothy Arnold, chipping in 11 points per contest as well as 5 rebounds per game as well. And rounding them out, a forward, a 5'8 senior, number 42, Shaka Griffin, averaging just under 4 boards per. Head coach is Chandler Thompson in his 5th year at the helm, 33-62 all-time in that span. Now for the Guerin Catholic Golden Eagles at 2-1 on the season. At one guard, a 6-foot sophomore, number 1, Jack Cherry, averaging 3 points per contest. At another guard, a 5'11 sophomore, number 3, Robert Sorensen, averaging just over 6 points per game. Another guard, a 5'7 senior, number 10, Matthew Etchinson, averaging around 2 rebounds per game and 1.7 points per contest. At another guard, a senior, and their leading scorer, number 12, Will Grissom, averaging just under 30 points per game, right at 28.7 points per contest. Closing out the Guerin Catholic lineup, a 6'6 senior forward, number 22, Aiden Cannon, averaging just under 6 points per game. Head coach of the Golden Eagles is Bob Allen, 51-24 in his 4th season at the helm, 107-98 in 10 years in high school basketball overall. It'll be Muncie Central in the road purple jerseys, white numerals and letterings, and the purple trim. Meanwhile, Guerin Catholic in their traditional home whites, purple unis, and the black trim. Timothy Arnold set to jump it up against Aiden Cannon here at center court. Officials finishing up their final pregame routines. Good crowd on hand here at Guerin Catholic. Ball is tapped, and we are underway here at Guerin Catholic. Matthew Etchison controls at the top as he operates the point. So we get started in this one with the abbreviated pregame and starters there. Coach, I'll let you go with your keys first for the Golden Eagles.
Yeah, for the Golden Eagles, they're just going to have to keep their turnovers down. Muncie's going to try to get them sped up. They need to be confident in the shooters that they are. They have really great shooters kind of all the way around, as you see a turnover already there. already down on the first key. And then 3, they need to rebound well. Muncie Central's athletic. They don't have a lot of tall guys, big bodies, but they're athletic. They get up. And if Guerin Catholic wants to have a chance to win this game, they need to rebound well today.
And that's our fault with that. If we got in your keys earlier, Guerin Catholic probably would have valued the basketball a little bit better there. There's a push-off of the offensive foul.
Absolutely. You cannot extend.
Malik Hassani with the turnover. So both teams exchange turnovers. That foul is going to go on Hassani. It'll be his first and the first on the Bearcats. Meanwhile, for Muncie Central, what do you need to see from them on both ends of the floor?
Aggressiveness, and obviously not necessarily the type of aggressiveness that you saw from Malik Hassani there, although I don't hate it. They need to be who they've always been all season. They need to run Guerin Catholic off the three-point line, force these guys to drive, get in the lane. Obviously, you don't want to foul them because they shoot free throws pretty well, too. Make them take tough shots. They need to speed Guerin Catholic up. They already have them one turnover, now 2 turnovers already on the night. So they need to continue to do that, get them out of their game that's methodical, moving the ball until they get a really good shot. That's what they want to do. Yeah, speed them up.
Looked like Grissom tried to draw the defense down low and get somebody open. He stepped on the baseline out of bounds. So it'll be, as Coach mentioned, yet another turnover for Guerin Catholic. And Muncie Central basketball, after the discussions finished up between the official and the Bearcats. Hassani will walk it up the floor. I agree with you there, Coach. You want to see your point guard, and Hassani will play a little bit of everything, but when he is your traditional playmaker and floor general, you want to see that aggressiveness and fearlessness, but yeah, you extend that arm almost at any level, particularly at this level, it's going to be going the other way every time.
Absolutely, absolutely. You got to drive in there aggressive with your shoulder, not create too much contact, as we see a foul there by, who was that?
I believe it was Robert Sorensen. We'll wait for official confirmation, but that is the type of, and it will go on Sorensen. That'll be his first on the Golden Eagles. That'll be in the act, so it'll send Daniel Harris to the charity stripe. He's 100% on the season. That's a very small sample size, about 2 free throws for the young man. But to your point, that's the type of aggressiveness you want to see.
Absolutely. You want to get Guerin Catholic in foul trouble. Outside of their starting 5, their bench isn't bad at all. They got number 14, Lucas Parker, who actually is their second leading scorer with 8 points per game and shoots 44% from the three-point line. They got Kamia Chandler, who also averages 6 points per game. But other than that, they don't have a lot of big contributors on the bench, so you want to get them into foul trouble, make them go into their bench.
Harris knocks them both down. The Bearcats draw first blood. They lead 2-0 as the Golden Eagles try to get involved in their offense.
You love the pressure here.
Grissom in a world of trouble.
There you go, another turnover.
And that pressure the coach asked for forces the turnover. Bearcats looking to make something out of it. Childress operates right on the circle.
It'll be interesting to see how Coach, if he's going to take a timeout, try to settle his team down in Guerin Catholic, or if they're just going to continue to kind of turn the ball over.
Harris operating like a bull in a china shop on that drive, and the officials wisely say no call and move on. You mentioned it, another turnover there, Coach, and the Golden Eagles trying to operate their offense, a sloppy start on both sides.
Absolutely.
With 2 minutes gone by in this opening frame.
Good pass.
Grissom inside, had it taken away, and a great steal there by Griffin. Not afraid of the leading scorer on this Golden Eagles roster. Kicked out left side, 3 in the air. Childress just off the mark. Rebound won by Grissom. Looks like Will might want to push. Up ahead. Some contact leads to free throws upcoming for Sorensen. See where they attribute the foul to.
That was a good drive. Finally good decision-making by Guerin Catholic there. Get on the line. Hopefully they get on the board.
Going to go on Timothy Arnold Jr. That'll be his first, the second on the team. And free throws upcoming for Sorensen, a 70%er on the season. First one is good.
Jimmy, what do you think of the student section?
It seems very tame right now in terms of like the overall vibe, but I'm all for Hawaiian night. I loved the theme nights when I was in high school. Anytime you can just try to, I don't know whether you're trying to ransack a Goodwill or if you're just having stuff that you have had over the years that you've acquired. It's tough at that age, right? You're just trying to put together an outfit, but I like a little Hawaiian December.
It looks like they're having fun. I'm surprised that wasn't a foul.
They let them play on, and it's a steal for the Golden Eagles. Etchinson gives right side. Stepping into a three is Cherry. It's long. Childress clears. And we might have a loose ball foul. Let's see if that goes on Muncie Central or if it's going to go on the Golden Eagles. I believe it's against Guerin, but let's wait for confirmation. That will go on Aiden Cannon. Be his first, second on Guerin Catholic. And again, just the sloppy nature of this opening frame. Neither team able to really get into a rhythm.
Muncie Central definitely kind of has a foot ahead right now, and I think they're having Guerin Catholic play exactly into their hands. Guerin Catholic doesn't want to play the way they're playing right now, a frantic pace.
Hassani will try a
deep
three.
shot.
That's short.
Wow, it was deep.
He wanted the range. No frustration or body language from the sideline, so
maybe coach was okay with it.
If you got the nod, might as well.
But no, they're playing at a frantic pace right now.
Corner three is knocked down. Robert Sorensen gets the first field goal of the night for either team.
Way to catch it and be confident, young man.
He's now got 5. All 5 for the Golden Eagles. A 3 to answer. Bang, bang. Knocked down by Daniel Harris. So he's got 5. So it's Harris and Sorensen putting on a show respectively for their squads. We're deadlocked.
Big buckets in this type of game right now that's been sloppy so far.
Grissom for 3. In and out.
Good shot, though.
And you'll live with that. Grissom, again, this is a very small sample size. He's shooting at about 70% from beyond the arc. But again, they're only 3 games in. I will say his mark is larger than your average. It's not like a 2 for 2 or a 3 for 3.
Yes.
It's a much larger sample size for him in terms of attempts, but still so early into the season, it's tough to gauge and say this is a 50% three-point shooter we got.
Absolutely. I mean, he's put up 40 attempts.
Right.
So it's not like he's
not afraid.
Barely shot, which is good. He's great catch and shoot. They got to close out, run him off the three-point line.
Grissom goes baseline. Scoop layup, no, but a blocking foul called. They don't have the charity stripe for 2.
If I'm Coach Thompson, that makes me nervous. You did a great job running him off the line, but Grissom being able to get to the hole like he did there, got lucky he didn't finish. But man, if he can play like that tonight, it's going to be a long night for them.
Shaka Griffin with the personal, and you're right because you're still sending bodies there, but Grissom just so crafty, free throw off the mark there, so crafty on the drive that he's able to adjust and put your defender in a spot where it's up to the official whether or not that's a blocking foul or a charge the other way.
And you don't want to get into a game where you're deciding, do I want to run him off the line or do I want to let him drive? Because if you give him any space, he's going to hit it.
Misses both free throws there. An 80% free throw shooter coming in is Grissom. We're still square at 5.
Yeah, that's shocking. Don't see that very often.
Usually pretty clean at the line. Step back 3 thought about there by Harris. BJ Issam into the game. Gives left side to Childress. Zion Strong also in there for the Bearcats during those free throws.
It's great defense right now.
Harris will put up a contested 3. Clangs off the iron. Harmlessly falls to the Golden Eagles. 5 minutes gone in this first quarter. Still square at 5. Zone look here for the Bearcats.
Can you tell what they're in? Is it a 3? Might be a 2-3, but it looks like maybe a matchup.
It's a high pass in the corner that Cherry tracks down. Grissom to Cherry. I always clarify this, but in case this is your first time watching an Indiana high school basketball game, there's no shot clock in the state of Indiana. So there's no hesitance or there's no urgency to necessarily chuck up a bad shot. You still have to worry about your 5-second counts and that kind of thing.
Yes.
But
there's not everybody. Some people like that style, other people don't. I know Doug Ogle from Warsaw. I went to Grace College up there, and he had great teams that had Kyle Mangus, who scored 3,000 points at Indiana Wesleyan. And he only averaged 15 points, and they as a team, they averaged 40.
Quick inbounds, caught everybody napping. Lucas Parker gets the bucket to go inside the paint. Lead to the Guerin Catholic Golden Eagles for the first time this evening at 7-5.
Good move.
Aggressive take, but could not finish there on the drive was Timothy Arnold.
Thought that was a foul.
Grissom, a blow-by initially. Went behind the back. No-look pass in the corner. And let's see, is there a foul on the floor? I think it is.
If I'm Coach Thompson, I'm upset at that because Arnold Jr. definitely got hacked. Should be
a lot of
shooting free
contact
throws
there
right now.
Foul's going to go on Issam. His first. Third on the the Bearcats. They forced it to Grissom. He picked up the dribble in his tough spot. Etchinson now. Grissom operating, in trouble. Cherry to Etchinson. He'll try a three. Back iron. Grissom the board. Second chance. Too strong. Cannon a third chance, and he gets it to go.
He's a big man.
Aiden Cannon using his size down low. Grows the lead to 4 at 9-5, 90 seconds left in the quarter.
It's a great finish by the big man. Way to get up and rebound. He's going to be their main rebounder. He's got about 6 rebounds a game, I think, to this point.
A 9-3 run by the Golden Eagles. Issam feeds inside. Arnold Jr. in trouble. Pull up from inside the arc. Childress. The mid-range is not there. Bounced off Grissom's foot. Etchinson will push with a minute to go. Grissom hesitates. All day baseline, and that's a thing of beauty.
He's nice.
Well, Grissom did not settle for the pull-up contested three. Instead, decided to get the defender off his feet, then just a nice pull-up baseline.
Man, he's as advertised. Hasn't popped off tonight, missed 2 early free throws, but you can just tell when you watch a player, he's going to be playing somewhere at the next level.
Love the confidence overall on a play like that. Ball was tipped out of bounds by the Golden Eagles. It'll stay with the Bearcats. 42 seconds left. Some subs in. Issam operates with 35. Went behind his back. Nice move. Scoop layup. Iron unkind. Sorensen the board. Plenty of time for the Golden Eagles. They lead it by 6. An 11-3 run in this quarter. Chandler kicks left side. Now Sorensen with 10. Gives to Grissom. Yep.
That's exactly where you want it.
I was thinking the same thing. Grissom with 5.
We get a high screen here.
Grissom with 3. Falling away. Gets it to go at the horn.
That's tough.
Will Grissom with 4 points, the last 4, in fact, for the Golden Eagles to end the first quarter. Golden Eagles lead it by 8, 13-5. Second quarter up next on IndianaSRN.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Welcome back to Guerin Catholic High School. I want to remind you this broadcast is copyrighted by IndianaSRN and the Indiana High School Athletic Association for the private use of our audience. The use of pictures, video, or audio without the express written permission of the IHSAA is prohibited. Jimmy Cook alongside the coach, Jalen Posey, started the second quarter. Underway here at Guerin Catholic, the Golden Eagles outscored the Bearcats 13-3 over a 6-minute stretch in that first quarter to lead it 13-5. Bearcats with the basketball to open this second quarter. 3-pointer in the corner will not drop, and the Golden Eagles will walk it up the floor. What do you need to see adjustment-wise first from the Bearcats in quarter number 2, Coach?
I think they're gonna have to manufacture some pressure here and get them back in their turnovers, get in the transition game. That's how they like to score. They're not a great three-point shooting team, and if they get down heavy to Guerin, it's going to be hard for them to come back.
A rejection with authority by Daniel Harris. Got up to get that shot. Sends it into the last week. Pass inside. Is it turned over? It is not. They say it's last touched by the Golden Eagles. It'll stay on this end. The one bright spot, and I know you're not going to be happy with this. I'm going to say it anyway, though, because it's a very flawed way of thinking. Will Grissom's only on pace for 16 points tonight. So if you keep that up.
Yeah. If you keep that up.
But you have not liked the shots he's been able to get, given where this game might go if he's knocking down some of the stuff he's been doing.
Like I told
Turnover,
you,
by the way, back to the Golden Eagles.
Like I told you during the break, if he's going to be hitting tough shots in the paint, if he's going to be patient and get to that mid-range, that's just going to open up the three-point line for him more, which we already said he's shooting well above average from. You don't want to see that as a coach.
And a correction on that earlier stat, he's right around 40% from beyond the arc, but that's still at this age, and that's a travel called against Grissom. Thought it was going to be either a block or a charge.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a charge. Got lucky. I didn't think it was a travel.
That'll go the other way. So still, again, just a correction of that number. He's shooting about 40% from beyond the arc, but still at this level, and for the way he's built and the way his game operates, it's a very impressive, above average number. But you're right. If you're going to commit one way, that's the other problem. If you commit, like you said, run him off the line, he's able to blow by you with a little head fake and get a mid-range or get a drive, then he's dictating the terms of engagement because he can constitute where he's going to go and make you second-guess what's happening. On the drive, a nice layup and steal for Kamea Chandler. He gets his first points of the evening.
Ooh, pickpocket. Down 10 already.
And a full timeout taken by Muncie Central. We'll be back after this. Golden Eagles lead by 10 on IndianaSRN.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Back here at Guerin Catholic, Golden Eagles lead at 15-5. While we have a second, want to remind you, as you saw there, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go to youtube.com, search IndianaSRN. Click that subscribe button so you always get notifications when we go on the air with live broadcast, as well as access to more than 800 archived games, IndianaSRN, where you're always in the game. Jimmy Cook alongside the coach, Jalen Posey. 6:17 left to go in this second quarter. Golden Eagles by 10. We talked about defensively what you need to see from the Bearcats adjustment-wise. How have you felt about the offensive lack of production so far in this first half?
Yeah, I think they gotta get out in transition and do a better job of getting it in the paint. They're taking a lot of three-point shots, which is not their game, and it's playing in the Guerin Catholic's hands.
Cannon the rebound. Make that Chandler the rebound, my apologies.
You see how tight they're playing Will Grissom to the three-point line?
They at least have made the decision they're not going to get beat that way.
Yeah, which I would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
You scout them, that's what you do.
Good back cut by Grissom. Thought he was going to throw it down. Instead goes off glass like a gentleman. Puts it in. 6 points for Grissom. And the lead is up to 12.
Will Grissom right now is a coach's worst nightmare. A smart player like that, man.
You hope that, particularly at this age, if somebody's really good from beyond the arc and you shadow them or you run them off the line, that they're going to get frustrated.
Yep.
He doesn't do that. Instead, just utilizes the back cut. You're going to overplay. I'm going to go right behind you.
Yeah, he's like, all right, you going to do that to me? All right, let me show you what else I got.
Long triple by Issam is good. B.J. Issam from downtown.
Hey, they hit one.
And the first basket of this second quarter for the Bearcats makes it a 9-point game. Chandler finds Cherry. Tried to force a pass. It's turned over. Issam again. He bounces it ahead. Tough fall-away shot won't go. Rebound poked at. It's won by Grissom. He has space. Will spin cycle. And he's stolen from behind. Up the floor. Layup won't go. Malik Hassani forcing the issue. And he'll get a chance to earn 2 points the hard way.
It's not a bad foul by Jack Cherry at all. You know, stop the progression of it. And honestly, Malik can throw it down. If he did that, you risk giving Muncie some momentum.
Whether or not, like you said, he was going to throw it down there, or even that he got in the layup to go, That's the only criticism I'd have for the foul is, like you said, you give up a three-point play like that with where the game is right now. You're exactly right, Coach. You're opening the door back up for more confidence for the Bearcats.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You don't want to see that at all.
First free throw is good for Hassani. He'll have one more. Trying to make this a 7-point game once again. And he does. Golden Eagles will walk it up. Nearly halfway gone in this second quarter. Mentioned Guerin Catholic lost a ton a year ago. Nearly 8 seniors to graduation. But still a number of pieces that were on this roster a year ago that made significant to quality contributions. Will Grissom, one of them. That ball was tipped. It'll stay out of bounds. As well as Jack Cherry, who we saw check out just a moment ago. Just to name a few. Matthew Edgerton was involved in there as well, the senior. And Cannon had quality minutes off the bench as well. So they still have pieces.
Yep.
But the depth they had is now young and inexperienced in terms of their depth. And the depth they had a year ago has moved into starting roles.
Yeah, no, I agree. And honestly, like we've talked about before, that's when your young guys get to step up. What are they made of? Obviously, Will Grissom has stepped up. Obviously, Sorensen has stepped up. Aiden has stepped up. A lot of guys that didn't get a ton of time last year or limited gets to step up this year, and it's paying off for him.
Ball was tipped out of bounds. Golden Eagles on a drive. That shot's off the mark. Cannon tried to fight for the board. Last touch by the Bearcats will stay on this end after the missed shot by Chandler.
If you guys are paying attention, I want you to watch what Muncie Central's doing to Guerin Catholic. They're down 7, but they're playing very physical with them. You can see some frustration starting to build.
Timeout taken by the Golden Eagles. It is a 30-second timeout, I believe. Wait for confirmation. It is a 30-second timeout. We will stay here. I want to remind you tonight's game is brought to you by IUPUI Sports Management. Sports management careers are booming. When you're managing the business side of sports, you're always a major player in the game. Their graduates work in crucial and demanding positions at sports organizations and venues, managing arenas and stadiums, handling publicity for their favorite teams, and developing the market for innovative sports products. For more information, contact us at iupui.edu/sportsmanagement. And by the IHSAA Foundation. Catch up on what's going on with the IHSAA Foundation by subscribing to our newsletter, The Advocate. Email us at ihsaafoundation.org. Also, while we have a second, I want to remind you, when you're not watching high school sports, IndianaSRN.org is there for you with Christmas music 24/7, all holiday season long. Go to IndianaSRN.org, and why don't you just jingle all the way with that fine holiday music?
Time to get in the mood, Jimmy.
It is that time of year. I was went not for my wife, but for family members, Christmas shopping with my wife today. First time being in a mall, I think, since the pandemic. Did not miss it. Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. It was chaos.
It's not a fun time. It's not a fun time at all.
Still love the holidays, but, man, it's a whole other animal. 3:34 left to go in this second quarter. Bearcats trying to chip away further at this lead. 3 in the air. Just trickles off the iron. Grissom the rebound. Will he push? Of course he will. Drive off the mark. Cannon the board. And he puts it in.
He's going to kill them on the glass all night long if they don't box him out.
That is an insane luxury to have when you have the size advantage and you have someone that has the size and is competent at rebounding. Grissom can drive all he wants, be as wild as he wants. As long as he's not drawing any fouls, you're going to have somebody to clean it up like Cannon all day.
Yeah.
Nice big man's move by Daniel Harris down low. Now got 5 points, 9-point game.
Cannon should be playing defensive end somewhere next year.
Sure.
I don't know if he has offers, but he had 6 sacks for Guerin Catholic this year, and I wouldn't be one to guard him or block him. I'll tell you that right now.
Catch and shoot Sorensen off the mark on the 3. Tap controlled. Issam pushes 1-on-1. He takes it. That's an offensive foul.
What a great charge he took right there.
Matthew Etchinson sliding in to take the charge. One more look at it. This is the Cannon putback. My apologies.
Sorry, that was my bad.
Another turnover for the Bearcats kind of stymies their momentum. They were starting to build a little bit.
And that is like I talked about, my first key to the game for Muncie Central. That can also get them in trouble. Sometimes they put their head down. They just go to the basket rather than dumping it off. He had Malik right open there. Just took a charge.
Cherry back in there. Sorensen operating. Right in between the circles.
Interested
feet
to see
inside.
what Guerin Catholic does here with Grissom out, getting a little bit of a breather.
Again, it's too young in the season to say that's an Achilles heel necessarily when he's out there, but this is another piece where you're hopeful that your depth or your youngsters that are going to be relied on for depth as the season goes on are able to step up. Again, a number of players that made contributions or got playing time a year ago on the floor right now for the Golden Eagles, but some new faces out there as well.
Absolutely. I know they're down 7 right now, but I love how active Muncie Central is on defense right now.
Not getting an inch.
They're moving all the time with the ball.
Cherry. Trying to feed it inside to Cannon. They want that matchup down there with Griffin. And say what you will, Griffin might not be as tall, but he's got the build to try to battle there with Cannon. There he is diving for that rebound.
It's a great defensive possession.
Can they turn it into points? Other way, that one was a block.
Wow.
I don't know if it was a genuine block, but at least from our vantage point, and I'm all for it, it looked like Etchinson tried to sell a little bit. It looked like he kind of, I hate to use it this level, flopped, but it looked like he over-exaggerated it just a tad.
I can see that. I also see how Malik, he dipped his shoulder a little bit.
Sure.
And, it depends on the referee you have.
Sure.
Some referees like the physical nature of that type of play. Others will tell you don't dip your shoulder.
Now, again, no disrespect to Etchinson because he's already drawn a charge tonight. He's capable of doing it. I just think that time, and maybe it wasn't a flop, maybe it was he anticipated the contact a little too early. But either way, it was just enough for the official to go the other way. There's a clean steal for the Golden Eagles.
Timothy right there, he just flopped.
Yep.
That was a flop, for sure.
For sure, no doubt about it. Etchinson, right side. Grissom's back in the game. That's an air ball.
Rare miss from him.
Cherry got the board out to Parker for 3. Lucas won't get it to go. And they're just tapping it off the glass, and Parker will head to the charity stripe. That time it wasn't even a clean look at the rebound, but they were able to tap it off the backboard and at least give another chance for that second line of rebounders to get a clear look at the ball.
You remember my third key to the game? Rebound, right? I said if they want a chance, because if you don't rebound well, even offensively, you're going to get Muncie Central a chance to get out in transition, which is what they like to do. But they've rebounded well on both ends of the floor so far.
Parker at the line. Misfires. These are his first free throw attempts of the season. Some subs coming in. Zion Strong back into the game for the Bearcats.
Not shocking, because I think the only one who attacks the basket is Will. Everybody else is kind of a shooter.
Gets that one to go. And Parker, one of those, again, a junior a year ago, or a sophomore a year ago, my apologies, a junior this year, looking for added depth and assistance from him.
Absolutely.
Under 50 seconds to go in this first half. Bearcats trail by as many as 8, trying to get some momentum headed in the locker room. Harris. Hassani will try a 3. Off the mark. Big-time rebound effort there by Griffin. And I think they're going to say he was fouled going up for that one. He hit the deck hard.
Will Grissom he is very frustrated right now. I've watched him up and down the court the last 2 or 3 times.
Right there.
They're very physical with him. He's gotten a couple calls that haven't been called. He's not happy.
Foul one against Grissom there. I believe I have that as his first, unofficially. So in terms of the frustration there, not as much for fouls he's committed, just like you said, the way the game is being played and the type of physicality he's being played with. As an offensive foul went the other way.
It looks like he's bleeding from his mouth.
Some we'll check on as the game unfolds. But if he is, it's just a token, again, of the physicality that's being presented there.
Hopefully he battles through it.
Final 10 seconds of the half. Cherry gives it Chandler with 5. Chandler around a screen. Picked up his dribble in a bad spot. He'll tee up a 3. Straight away, knocked it down. And we had Chandler.
That's a big boy shot right
Ends
there.
the first half. He pump faked, picked up his dribble in a bad spot. Thought he was in trouble, and then had the C part right in front of him. Pulled up for 3 and knocked it down.
I cannot believe that they lock. That is Cardinal sin number 1. Yep. You cannot lose the ball.
you play a near perfect defensive possession there, and the offensive player, in this case Chandler, presents, at least from a body language standpoint, so confused like he wants to get rid of the ball that you leave your man to try to make a play and leave him wide open to get a uncontested look at it.
Yeah, if I'm Coach Thompson, you have their best player go out. He's frustrated. You guys have a chance to end the half on a good defensive possession, and instead you give them and the rest of their players confidence going to the second half down 11.
It was a closer scoring margin in that quarter. Golden Eagles outscored the Bearcats 10-7 in quarter number 2, but Guerin Catholic leads by 11 at the break, 23-12. Stay with us on a little bit of halftime festivities. Come back with more, including adjustments in half number 2, as well as the ultimate start of that third quarter in just a moment on IndianaSRN.
The Guerin Catholic Golden Eagles have 2 new sponsors for their webcast this year. Tommy McScarry with Berkshire Hathaway and Dwayne Thompson with Integrity Mortgage Group.
I've been teaching here at Guerin Catholic for 13 years. I've been assistant coach also for 13 years. And I think it's important in today's world that we have young people growing up with the morals and values of faith-based education.
Hello, I'm Dwayne Thompson with Integrity Mortgage Group, and I support Guerin Catholic High School because I'm good friends and business partners with assistant coach Tommy Mascari. And any chance I have to support a Christ-centered education for today's youth, I take advantage of that opportunity and support in any way I can with my time, effort, volunteering, funds, and commercials like these.
Together we soar. Guerin Catholic Sports on IndianaSRN,
where you're always in the game.
Today, greed, selfish interest, and barefaced corruption seem all the fashion. America needs great men of tolerance who can give honest debate to the great issues of the day. I'm seeing mostly squabbling, men squandering their time, being wolves to one another. Yet, I'm not without hope. We still have Freemasonry. Yes, the same Freemasons that helped create this country have always provided great men when needed. And today, in every city and town in America, Freemasonry is still providing that special place where young men can find their greatness and accomplished men can give something back. Yes, in this time of great hope, it is my hope that America will see that Freemasonry is a national treasure that cannot be separated from our country's future.
I'm Mary. Welcome to Guerin Catholic High School. Many people believe that we're just like any other school, but I'm here today to show you that we're not. At Guerin Catholic, we are family. Now I know that sounds crazy, right? How can a school be like a family? Well, it all starts with St. Theodore Guerin herself. Her charisms inspire us every day. She's been praying for us since before the school was built, before we were even born. On one of her many resting places, it says, "I sleep, but I watch over the house that I have built." As a student, it's so inspiring to know that we have our own saint in heaven praying for us every day. But if you really want to understand what Guerin Catholic's all about, there's a lot more you need to know about us, starting with who we are. Guerin also has some advice for the teachers. She says, love the children first, then teach them. It is these wise words that inspires our teachers to motivate students and look for the best ways to meet each student where they are. You might think with all this love, academics might not be important, but there is nothing further from the truth. It is because of our faith in seeking the truth that we aspire to know all that we can know. But we can't stop there. We have to know how to think about the knowledge in order to make a difference in the world. Whether you need a little extra help or you're ready to be challenged with an international baccalaureate diploma or anything in between, there is a place for you at Guerin Catholic. But we're not just about academics around here. At Guerin Catholic, we are well-rounded. There are so many ways for you to get involved. Obviously, we have sports. We have 21 athletic teams, including swimming. And if you don't play a sport, we're all about supporting those that do. Our student sections are so much fun. We are spirited. And we also have 43 clubs. So if you don't see anything you like, you can start another one. We also have band, choir, orchestra, and theater. We are involved. At Guerin Catholic, there are so many ways for you to discover and use the gifts that God has given you. We are creative. Getting involved in these activities is not just about having fun. It's also about developing skills that help you become a great leader and providing opportunities for you to lead. At Guerin Catholic, we are leaders. Another great way for you to grow as a leader is through service opportunities. There are so many ways for you to share your gifts with others. Mother Guerin says, you will be happy yourself in making others happy. That's what service is all about. By connecting to local organizations or through mission trips, you'll have plenty of opportunities to serve. At Guerin Catholic, we are compassionate. There are so many opportunities to travel at Guerin Catholic, from mission trips to Costa Rica to performing in New York City. We are explorers. You will find the Guerin Catholic community all around the world, working, singing, and learning, all to get closer to Christ. Here we are at our chapel. This is where I leave you. But as you think about your future, I'll give you one last piece of advice from Mother Guerin. Do not give way to uneasiness about the future. Place yourself gently into the hands of Providence.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Welcome back to Guerin Catholic High School. A look at the nest here at Guerin Catholic as the Golden Eagles in control in this one heading into the second half. They lead by 11, 23-12. Jimmy Cook alongside the coach, Jalen Posey. Coach, we talked a little bit about this before we went to break for halftime, but additionally, you and I discussed this off air as well. From Muncie Central's standpoint, down 11 right now, the threes aren't falling for you, and against a team that has high offensive capability like Guerin Catholic does, you're going to need to change something, whether it's defense leading to offense or something different from a schematic standpoint offensively. You need something to get a spark going on to start this second half.
Yeah, you need your pressure in the half court. It really hasn't been that bad. I mean, the worst part is you've given up some offensive rebounds. They haven't hit that many threes. But you gotta speed them up. You gotta get full court pressure. I think that's what has to happen because your offense is not working in the half court. You gotta get out in transition. That's your game, and you gotta find if they're gonna continue to do 2-3. You have to find a high post presence. I don't know where it's gonna come from. You don't have size. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out.
On the Guerin Catholic side of the ledger, not a perfect half of basketball, but pretty solid in that second quarter. Felt like things settled down. The turnovers were a problem in quarter number one, not as much in quarter number two. what would you like to see from them, big picture, to close this out, have a comfortable second half?
Yeah, I was actually impressed with the way they fought through some adversity. Their shots weren't falling early, but they found ways to get to the line. They found ways to score, especially Will Grissom, who's been as advertised. I will say, though, like I said before, you can see he's frustrated. I hope that their coach has told them, Coach Allen has told them, hey, keep your heads, keep your cool. Even if they get physical, stay in the game, because if they give them any credence to see that they're frustrated, they could allow Muncie Central back in the game just off of that.
Well, it'll be Golden Eagles basketball to start this third quarter as Matthew Etchinson walks it up the floor for Guerin Catholic. Feed inside to Cannon, and a foul is going to be called, I believe, against Cannon. They're going to say he got off with a push-off down low, so an offensive foul right out of the gate.
I didn't see that. Did you?
I didn't initially, unless they're saying that he got separation as the pass was coming in, but I didn't see enough to necessarily warrant the offensive foul. The officials did. That'll be Cannon's second foul unofficially. And an opportunity right out of the gate for Muncie Central to chip away at this lead. Hassani operating at the top.
They got to be able to attack that corner. The bottom wing defenders are so aggressive and coming up to.
Straight on triple is good. Timothy Arnold Jr. from downtown. His first basket of the night, and it's an 8-point game.
You like to see the confidence from Timothy Arnold Jr. Like we said, they haven't been shooting well all night. Don't think that's their game, but, hey, sometimes you just got to go after it.
Grissom to answer. That's short. Here come the Bearcats. Hassani, good pass ahead. Basket is up and in. Put in by Timothy Arnold Jr. 5 straight points for him. It's a 6-point game.
And just like that.
Back in it. Etchinson. Feed inside. Cannon. It's so tough down low. I think they're going to get a foul against Harris. It's tough to properly categorize this, but he's size-wise, in terms of height, he's a man among boys out there. I will say, though, Coach, you want box-out capabilities on Cannon, and that time he didn't have the inside position, but Griffin is built well enough. If he gets his lower body into Cannon, he can get that separation for a clean box-out.
Yeah.
I'm not saying everybody can on the floor, but in that particular moment, like I said, Griffin wasn't there to make that play.
Yeah.
He is stoppable, but if you miss or you're late to go help over, it's not going to happen.
Absolutely. I mean, Griffin's giving up 10 inches, legitimately 10 inches, almost an entire foot. So he's got to be able to use his posterior to box them out, as he has the capability, as you can see. But he's got to do that better for sure, like you said.
Harris. Childress down the lane right at Cannon. Couldn't get it to go, but a foul is going to be called. And that's going to be, I believe, number 2 on Cannon unofficially.
You like to see him stay straight up there. There's no reason for him to swipe down at that.
And a correction, that's going to be the 3rd on Aiden Cannon.
And if he gets in any sort of foul trouble, that kind of changes the dynamic of the game a little bit.
Well, a friendly reminder, I know Coach knows this, for those of you that don't at home, it is 5 fouls in high school hoops for your DQ'd. So with 3 already on his ledger early in this third quarter, they're not going to take any chances. In comes Lucas Parker. And they'll let Cannon sit down with those fouls. And that'll be very interesting to see how the dynamic on the boards changes with his size going.
Yes, it will. We'll have to see if Will Grissom can get on the boards. He's a pretty good rebounder, as you see him go up and grab one there. But hopefully on the offensive glass, which is where they've kind of been struggling, Muncie Central at least, hopefully they can start to get some offensive boards as well without him.
It's a 7-point game. Golden Eagles trying to add to it. Grissom tried to go baseline. He just lost it. Clean defense by the Bearcats.
Oh, no.
Harris up ahead. Hassani back to Harris. Some body contact. They won't give him the call, but he will put it in and make it a 5-point game. Golden Eagles need a timeout.
It looked like Grissom might have gotten hurt pretty badly.
I believe it's a timeout anyway. Let's wait for official confirmation. No, it was not a timeout. So it seemed like it was, but it was just an official stoppage. Again, we apologize for those of you listening at home. Technical difficulties. We don't have the crowd environment from Guerin Catholic, so it's tough to tell from our vantage point the aftermath of that play as we wait for the pan over. So Grissom is on the sideline, but he did take a fall through that play.
It didn't look good.
It's tough to tell from our vantage point. There's an aggressive drive again for the Golden Eagles. This time it's a blocking foul. That'll go against Jalen Childress.
Sorry, they didn't change it. It's number 4. It's first.
First foul on Childress. Side out of bounds.
Can pan over a little bit to the right to get the back players. Ken?
So Grissom back there just took a seat on the bench. Floater in the air. Will not fall for Chandler. Second chance rebound. Parker doing the dirty work and gets to go. 4 points unofficially for Lucas Parker. Lead back to 7.
It looks like Grissom might be okay, but like I told you before, he's frustrated.
Blocking foul called. Drive forced there by Asani. And amplified so there because, again, it looked like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, it looked like he fell face first on that play, and there's no call there. So even if you're just tweak something or just, getting checked on, your frustration is there because now you've fallen down and there was no whistle with it.
Yeah, and I thought there should have been a whistle personally. That's been happening all night to him.
Hassani in between the circles. 3 minutes gone by in this third quarter. Bearcats trail by 7. Good crossover. Issam had it sent back. And a loose ball foul going to go against the Bearcats. That'll be on Harris.
What a block there by Jack Cherry.
The sophomore getting up for that.
He's a physical guy too. I saw his football tape. He's a wide receiver. Yep. Did a lot of wide receiver screens. Wasn't afraid to get physical.
Second foul on Harris. And to your point, that type of physicality and go-to attitude, 3 in the air by Parker, is short. It's part of the reason why he got minutes as a freshman a year ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
3 in the corner is knocked down. Daniel Harris responds to that second foul with a 3 of his own.
They must have heard us talking at halftime because we said, we're not sure about their 3-point capabilities, and they've hit 2.
It's a 4-point game. They're shooting about 36% from beyond the arc. At this level, that's fine, but they missed a lot of looks tonight.
Yeah.
Kick, mid-range. Cherry hesitates and is fouled on the floor.
I was about to say, man, they're letting him play because Cherry should have got one the last possession at half court. Shoulder to the guy, didn't get called. There was one on that same possession, didn't get called, and then I was like, they're going to let that one go too?
Cherry might not have hated that. He had a clear window and a defender maybe for an and one, but you're right, you want the consistency there.
Absolutely.
Cherry in the corner. Etchinson halfway gone third quarter. Lead down to 4.
Interested to see how long they keep Grissom out.
Cherry spinning away, off the window and in.
It's a big boy move.
The sophomore making upperclassmen-like plays.
He's going to be a good player for them.
The future is bright. We talked about how there was great depth a year ago. Again, that was a great strip there by Matthew Etchinson. Beautiful defensive play, but Etchinson was one of them as well. He's a senior this year, so this is his swan song campaign. But Cherry a year ago as a freshman got quality minutes when called upon and a great piece of the future. He'll try a 3. In and out for Cherry. Rebound 1, though, by Chandler. Etchinson will reset things. Correction, he'll force inside Parker. Falling away and got it to go. And a timeout taken by Muncie Central. I believe it's a 30-second timeout. The lead's back to 6.
That's a great run there at the end by the young Guerin Catholic Golden Eagles with their leader, Will Grissom, out, seemingly hampered. Amazing run there by Jack Cherry, also by Lucas Parker, just to get a couple shots up. Really, really tough moves. Really great shots by them.
The lead is 8, 30-22, with 3:07 left to go in this third quarter. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Sports Page. Stay up to date with IHSAA sports news on the daily by subscribing to our sports page at IndianaSRN.org or by emailing Troy at radiotroy.com. Also brought to you by Piper Logistics. Piper Logistics was established in 2002 with the encouragement and financial support of a spirited customer who helped Greg and Tim develop their vision. If you need something transported or stored, contact Piper Logistics today at 317-395-1023. Jimmy Cook alongside Coach Jalen Posey. 8-point advantage for the Guerin Catholic Golden Eagles. 3:07 left in the third. Bearcats basketball out of the timeout. That was taken by Guerin Catholic, so a correction to that earlier remark of it being a Muncie Central timeout. Coach, critical juncture in this ball game. Muncie Central's been kind of knocking at the door a little bit with Will Grissom still on the bench for the Golden Eagles. Again, he was banged up a little bit. He's still back on the bench, but you expect to probably see him again at some point. No official word on that, just speculating with the nature of his quick return to the bench. Either way, your window is now for Muncie Central.
Absolutely. You have to jump out. I know that they made a little run there themselves, Guerin Catholic did, but you got to continue to be aggressive. You got to continue to get good looks, not turn the ball over, and give the other Golden Eagles confidence.
Childress gives to Harris. He'll drive high off the window. It bounced out. Rebound one and taken by Griffin. His second chance is good. The senior with a big bucket.
It's a big shot.
It's down to 6, and again, maybe a rebound he doesn't get with the size he's given up with Cannon out with those 3 fouls. Gets the putback to boot.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's why it's huge they got him in foul trouble.
Parker kicks to Etchinson. Thought about the extra pass. The pump fake froze the defender. Could not knock down the 3. Rebound one and taken by Sorensen. Almost turned it home for a 3-point play. Instead, 2 free throws upcoming. And that one is a blatant situation where you got to get a body on a guy.
Yeah, you do. You got to box him out. Can't allow him to go free reign up to the basket. I was going to ask you, who do you think is the most important player on the floor for Guerin Catholic right now? I have my idea. I want to hear yours. Without Will Grissom on the floor.
I would say probably Etchinson, and he's not out. I think he's in the backcourt, but I would say Matthew Etchinson because he's still your floor general.
Yep, I was going to say the same thing. I mean, his stats don't jump off the page. 1.7 points per game, 1.3 assists per game, but that is a guy that the coach trusts implicitly. You can see it. You can see how he calmed the young Golden Eagles, and even though he didn't make the shots, he was kind of the one making sure everything was happening out there.
Free throws are missed that time for the Golden Eagles in Sorensen. Rebound one by the Bearcats. Almost gave up a second chance opportunity. The shot was missed. Just over 90 seconds left in this third quarter. Hassani. Now Issam. Ball up for grabs. Kick right side. Catch and shoot Hassani 3. It's an air ball. Had too much on it, and the rebound taken by Cherry. Jack kind of in trouble.
They're letting him get pretty handsy.
They're letting Harris play all the way down the floor, and that might be a charge.
Oh, he called it before.
I think they're going to have a discussion here. Here's the problem with that. Let's see who gets overruled and who doesn't. The foul is going to go against Daniel Harris, which here's my issue with that. It's the right call and it should have been called earlier by the backside official because Harris is riding him the whole way.
Hounding him.
But in retaliation to being hounded, Cherry goes full speed, lays a shoulder, creates contact, but that doesn't happen if they call the earlier foul on Harris.
Did you see that ref just walk up to Shaka Griffin?
It looked like he was unhappy with the call, and Griffin was kind of getting a settle down, young man.
Yeah.
Thanks what happened there.
That's what it looked like. It looked like one of his
because he had said something to the official beforehand, like, "Hey, what are we doing down there?" And
I don't know how he doesn't understand. Like, I get it. I know why he's mad, but the call wasn't on him. He has to understand that. Like, you did what you were supposed to do.
I do get why he's mad to an extent. He got trucked over trying to draw a charge, and instead, but you do have to realize that the foul is not on you.
It's
from
you,
right,
buddy.
Right.
Like, if they wasn't there, they would have called a charge. But
ball was tipped out of bounds on a subsequent inbound, so it'll stay on this end.
Trying to figure out who the foul is on here.
Yep. Let's see.
Follow the refs. Need the refs in the screen. Ken.
As long as you can tell me who this foul's on, Casey, it doesn't matter.
They have won his third on the screen right now, but I think that was previous.
So right now that's Daniel Harris. I wonder if we're still having a conversation of who the foul was on.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like it was on Harris, at which point there's nothing that Griffin should be upset about.
Yeah.
If it's on Griffin, then I understand where the beef is, because
I'd be hot.
You go to take a charge, you get run over. And I think that is the discussion that's going on right now. Again, we don't have the audio. We're just speculating like you at home. Regrettably, this isn't the association where there's a talkback mic and the refs can tell us what's going on. And also, we have on our side of things here 7 fouls on Muncie Central, at which point you'd be looking at a 1-on-1 situation.
I've seen a couple people give that signal. Maybe that's what they're talking about.
Officials are satisfied with what has transpired. Just an inbound, and it's controlled by Etchinson. They can add to this 7-point lead. Sorensen, catch and shoot triple. Nothing but nylon.
That's big time.
And what a momentum swing for the Golden Eagles. The lead now at 10. It's a massive swing. Can the Bearcats answer? But again, they don't have to answer, like you mentioned all game long, Coach. You don't have to answer with a 3 of your own. They're going to try to, and that one's long.
That's a bad shot, young man.
Childress can't get it to go, and the Golden Eagles will walk it up in no hurry whatsoever. Just got to get it across that 10 count.
I'm all good with confidence, but that was pretty deep, especially where you're at in the game.
Parker gives to Etchinson. 30 seconds to go in the quarter. All this without Will Grissom. Still on the bench. Sorensen forces it. Scoop layup won't roll. Rebound won by the Bearcats, and a foul is called against Sorensen. That's just the 4th team foul on the Golden Eagles this half, so it'll be a simple inbound for the Bearcats. Josh Holba coming to the game for the Golden Eagles.
You got to wonder if Coach Allen is trying to save Grissom for the fourth quarter. Is he too hurt to come back in? Or is he saving him for the fourth quarter, kind of give him a closing effort, which if I'm Muncie Central, I don't like the sound of that.
It also could be another situation, and this is me wildly speculating. Maybe he's not banged up enough where you're worried about it, but also you feel like your unit can get the job done with what's out there.
Absolutely.
I know that's more common, far more common at the pro level or at the college level than this level.
Yeah.
But if you feel like you have a good game plan set up out there and you like the players that are out there, additionally, you want Will Grissom to get as much playing time as you can, but this isn't the worst thing in the world as a coach to be able to see what your depth can do.
No, not at all, especially this early in the season.
There's a steal. Stolen away by Chandler to the rack. He's fouled. And points with the clock stopped upcoming for the Golden Eagles. They can just add to their lead. Just a unfortunate turn of events for the Bearcats over the last 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, it seemed like, man, they had a big run going. It seemed like they were getting back in the game. You get Will out. You're thinking, man, this is our opportunity to pounce. And then the young Golden Eagles come out and they kind of show, hey, we got something to say about it too. Even though our leading scorer, 28 points per game, is out, we got some dogs on this side too. You're not going to be able to keep us down. And I think it's going to serve them well this specific stretch the rest of the season.
Chandler gets them both. Final 5 seconds. Childress, left side. Ism baked in a 3 at the horn. And that'll end this third quarter with a little bit of confidence.
You do not like to see that.
For the Muncie Central Bearcats. They'll go into their huddles. Down 7. Golden Eagles lead at 34-27. Final frame up next on IndianaSRN.
Bertner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment, whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
Welcome back to Guerin Catholic High School for the start of the fourth quarter. Boys varsity basketball here on Indiana SRN. Jimmy Cook alongside Coach Dalen Posey. Thank you so much for joining us here on a Saturday evening on Indiana SRN and the Indiana SRN family of networks. The Bearcats of Muncie Central trail by 7. Allow the basketball to open this final quarter. A banked-in three-pointer to end quarter number 3 gives a little bit of life and momentum to the Bearcats. Are they able to bottle it up and take advantage? That's the big question, Coach.
Yeah,
nearly a turnover
look,
there.
Look who's back out there, Jimmy.
Will Grissom, the one that gets the hands on the ball there, tips it out of bounds. You'd expect nothing less from the team's leading scorer and the workhorse to be the first one to have active hands on defense after that long absence.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him have a big fourth quarter. I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, we speculated about it. Was it simply because of injury, or was it because of were we going to see him again tonight? Or we hold him out just to see what the depth has? And one of your options you suggested was, well, maybe it is injury, but maybe you're waiting for that fourth quarter, letting him rest, bring him out now, and a nightmare situation for the Bearcats in that regard, because even when he's been out, you haven't gotten that much back into this ballgame.
Absolutely. You've had some great players, Jack Cherry. You've had your point guard, Matthew Etchison, step up big time. Also, Lucas Parker stepped up big time as well.
On the drive, no, it's an offensive foul. Yeah. A charge taken by the Bearcats.
It's a great charge. Great charge taken. You saw Will driving in there, and Will's got to do a little bit better job trying to miss that. I think that some people would have seen it. It could have gone either way, but for me, I think if he's going to drive in that way, he needs to float it, or he needs to try to avoid contact there.
That's 2 fouls unofficially for Will. Left side, 3 in the air. 3 is long. Arnold's had a couple go down. And here's Grissom. He might be thinking slam time. He does. Slams it home with 2 hands. Welcome back to the ball game, Will Grissom.
Student section's going crazy.
Gotta love that. And lead up to 11.
I didn't know if he was going to get enough lift.
Yeah, he looked like he had the stutter a little bit.
Yeah.
Got worried there for a second, but he gets it to go down. Harris is the other way. You say it's the other way.
Wow.
Going to call a blocking foul.
I don't know about that. That was great defense by Etchison. Way to get move his feet, get in there. I thought he established position, but that's just me.
That was in the act, I believe. If it's not in the act, it's only the 6th team foul unofficially on our end on Guerin Catholic. So if they say it's on the floor, then it's it's baseline out of bounds. All right, apparently, so we were just off by 1. So it's 7-team foul on the Golden Eagles, it's a 1-1. And that's good. Front end is made by Harris. One more upcoming for Daniel. In the double figures tonight. That one good also.
Yeah, they just entered on the scoreboard, so I was just waiting.
All good. Makes it a 9-point game, 38-29. Bearcats at this point just looking for stops wherever they can get them.
Absolutely. You got to get back in the game that way. Don't want to foul, though, because they're already in the bonus.
Yeah, any fouls the rest of the way by either team will lead to free throws.
They can't lose their aggressiveness, though. They got to still find
That's part of their identity.
Aggressive. Yeah.
Particularly on this end. Atkinson in trouble. They find it to Grissom, force feed him. What a pass inside.
Pass.
Cannon could not handle it.
Man,
it's a turnover. Man, it's threading a needle with that bounce pass.
Man. That was a great pass. It was. Snatch back.
I don't know if Cannon has the lift on him, but let's say Grissom does end up playing at the next level. That's 2 points on a slam on a bounce pass like that.
Yep.
To your big.
Absolutely. Undoubtedly.
Young gives to Harris. He tries baseline again. Another rejection by Jack Cherry. Second block unofficially tonight for Cherry. He's had some nice contributions once again as the sophomore.
He does. He got some long arms on him. I think that's why you saw that. He looks like he's probably got about 6'5" wingspan, even though he's only 6 foot.
Strong, ready to trigger. Goes deep back to Griffin. Griffin trying to bully his way on Cannon. High off the window. No, but he's fouled, they'll say. And that's going to be Cannon's fourth.
Man, he has got to stay straight up. He has 10 inches on the guy. You're going to affect the shot. I mean, Shaka Griffin's 5'8".
22 is 4.
Aiden Cannon is 6'6". He's got to put his arms straight up in the air. That's why he got called. If he didn't jump and try to swing at it, he's not going to get called for it.
You know what? And I feel for the big fella to an extent because first free throw off the mark. I get it. You want that block. You want that rejection, right? You know it's a smaller player, even though, again, just by height, because Griffin's still built very well, but you have a smaller matchup height-wise. You want to swat. I get that, but you're right. You have to be disciplined enough. Just stay straight up. Splits the pair. So I guess that's the one thing you hate to pay for it with a foul because that's his fourth, but your foul did at least take 1 point off the board instead of an easy layup.
And here we see some full court pressure. Oh, man.
Reach-in's going to go against Princeton Young. So you got a little bit of that jersey of Grissom.
Grissom in his head has to be ecstatic that finally
here's a whistle go his way.
Justice. The foul's called.
I will say of all of them, though, that was the one I'd be all right with letting him play a little bit.
I agree.
The way he's taken a beating tonight at times, that's the one where I get if you want to let him play versus some of them where, okay, there's some obvious contact there.
Yeah.
1-and-1, front end is good. Grissom and Near can't miss from the charity stripe. Rattles them both in. Calm at the line. Lead currently sits at 10, 40-30. Bearcats in need of some offense. Cannon kicks right side. 3 in the air. 3 an air ball by Young. And a rebound for the Golden Eagles.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if I'm Muncie Central's coach, I'm taking a timeout. Regroup my guys as we try to chip at this lead with 5 minutes to go.
I think you're probably going to see that if another basket happens here. Grissom nearly lost it. All the way. Up and under. Gets it to go.
Filthy. Oh, my.
Next level, that's an and one. Here it is a on-the-floor foul that'll go against Timothy Arnold. It'll still lead to free throws, but
yeah, he rocked
there's
the
some
cradle.
sauce on
Look at
that.
this. Ooh, oh, my. Oh, my word.
It's nice.
You call that jelly. Call that jelly.
One more upcoming for Grissom on the 1-and-1. Correction. Gets that to go.
Will is a prime candidate. And Jimmy, I don't know if you follow the small college basketball world that much, especially here in Indiana, but there's a lot of great NAIA schools, Indiana Wesleyan, Grace College, where my alma mater, Marion, Taylor, Bethel, all those schools. He looks like a prime candidate to go and be a great player.
Miscommunication there by the Bearcats. They weren't ready for it. It was strong. And just kind of a microcosm of things have just been a tad off tonight.
Yeah.
For Muncie Central.
That looked painful. Don't want to take that to the face.
That's tough. No chance at it, by the way. Like by the time it was already at his cheek by the time he realized what was happening.
Yeah, poor guy. It's not his fault. I think that's why, back in the olden days, when we're in elementary and we're learning fundamentals basketball, you're passing the ball. They always say, hey, say your player's name, right? Say your player's name. That's why, right there, so that they can at least see, hey, the ball's coming at me, and that they don't have to turn and get hit in the face before they're even ready.
Timeout taken on the floor. taken by, I believe, Muncie Central.
That is correct.
No indication if it was a full or 30. I believe it's a 30. But we'll stay here until our producer extraordinaire, Casey, yells in my ear. We will stay here regardless. All right, so we're going to stay here. It's a 12-point advantage. I've seen crazier things happen, Coach, but we're getting into the territory where, regardless of what camp you're in, a shot clock or no shot clock, I'm shot clock, by the way, unofficially, just for the record.
Yeah.
You're running out of possessions.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to try to extend this game by fouling, and your margin right now at 12, you're in a really tough spot if you're the Bearcats. The window's not completely closed. What do you need to see to, if anything, to try to turn this tide or at least chip away a little bit, give yourself a chance in that final minute, 2 minutes or so?
Yeah, I think in the next two possessions, you got to have really good looks. And it doesn't matter if it's a 3 or a 2, but you need to have 2 really good looks. If you don't, and 2 stops after that. If you don't get that, then you're kind of in trouble. That's what I would say.
Guerin Catholic, obviously the much better hand right now. Still a free throw upcoming for Jack Cherry and a 12-point lead in pocket. Cherry misfired on that one of one more. Double bonus active. Any fouls committed by Muncie Central will lead to 2 at the line for the Golden Eagles. Cherry one more, and that goes down. Lead is 13. Bearcats searching for answers. I will say, though, give all the credit in the world to Coach Thompson with where this group is at right now. You started the season with 2 straight wins. After a year where you didn't win a single game and a lot of the same faces on this team. So whether it was just player improvement across the board, there's a nice drive that misfired, but a good follow there by Asani.
There's a good look.
Regardless of what the case is, whether it was something you did differently schematically as a coach, or whether just hard work put in the offseason by this group, they've responded well since that 0-21 campaign, and they got a nice group on their hands this year.
They do. And Guerin Catholic's a really good team.
Yep.
Even though they lost a lot, they still have a lot of good players. They're definitely well coached. And so, to be down by 11 on the road instead of being blown out is not bad either, I would say.
Grissom gets the whistle there as Harris, they've really let Harris play a lot tonight, and that time just a tad too much.
I'm going to say, I'm not sure what he's mad about. It's clearly a foul, but maybe you're right. Maybe it's just, Grissom's been getting hacked all night. He hasn't been called, and so finally they're starting to call in the fourth quarter, and maybe that's what they're frustrated about. But I guarantee you, Grissom is very happy right now.
Puts it in. Got to appreciate the opportunity to go to the line. And correction that.
Number 1.
That's the 4th foul correction on Harris. My apologies. So one more before he'd be disqualified, a loss you couldn't afford to have.
Nope.
If you're the Bearcats, again, we're getting into territory where it won't have an impact on this game, but any hopes you have to rally back, you really have to play perfect basketball from here on out. Floater down the lane, no. Hassani again, and he's fouled on the floor.
It's going to be 1-on-1.
Indeed, it will be. A trip to the foul line for Malik.
And this is where I think that Muncie Central is going to have the opportunity to see what they're made of down the stretch. Are they going to get good shots, or are they just going to force things? Obviously, you see Malik at the line here, but his first shot wasn't really that great. He kind of drove in with his head down and threw it up.
Free throw off the mark. Rebound won by Strong, and he's fouled ahead of the charity stripe. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Morales Group. The Morales Group can match you with the right career, hire the right candidate for your company, but they do so much more than that. Let them help you today. Contact the Morales Group at 317-472-7600. And by Burtner Electric. Burtner Electric has been serving the Indianapolis area since '86. Family owned and operated that take pride in customer service by putting their customers first. Fully licensed and insured, they offer 24-hour emergency service because no job is too small. Call them today for all your electrical needs at 317-773-7663. First free throw off the mark. One more upcoming.
Man, I apologize for breathing so hard into the mic earlier. That was I was trying to talk, and I think I took a deep breath, and it sounded like, I don't even know what it sounded like. Crazy.
Well, again, we're bearing through the technical aspect of it. It can be a little bit louder with no ambiance, no background noise. But I didn't notice it. So
yeah.
Rolling right along, there's a turnover by the Golden Eagles. So I got another window here for Muncie Central. 13 points, a tough mountain to climb. But again, you want to have opportunities like this early on in the season where you're faced with adversity to see how your team responds.
Absolutely. Because down the stretch, you guys were 0-21 last year. If this is your first loss or your first close game, then you're going to want to see how you handle that.
Issam's three-pointer off the mark. Here come the Golden Eagles. Pass ahead. Cannon sent back into another area code.
Wow.
By Shaka Griffin.
And that's a big play. He's 5'8".
And we've talked about that size matchup all night. He got up to get that block.
Yes, he did.
It'll stay with the Golden Eagles. 3:08 to play. Cherry looking inbound. Sorensen. Grisham to the rack, and he's hacked. He'll head to the line.
They've been physical with him all night long.
And give credit to him.
Yeah.
I know that he had that extended absence with whatever he was dealing with. Again, he took a hard fall. We have no idea. We're not going to speculate on what it was, but he did miss some time in this ball game. Comes back to open the fourth, and he's taking it right back to the Bearcats.
He has. I've been thoroughly impressed, even as he misses that first free throw right there. I've been thoroughly impressed with him. He's really not let it get to him too much. You've seen some frustration, but you know what? He's going to continue to attack, and that's what good players do. They continue to attack the basket, and then they're just going to get there and, give them a chance, an opportunity at the free throw line, even though you missed those two.
A rare double miss there by Grissom. Rebound won by the Bearcats, trailing by 13. Issam. He'll try another three-pointer. Was off the last time. That one's a bit too strong as well. Rebound tapped up. Won by the Bearcats.
They're going to start chucking threes here now.
Miscommunication. That's saved right to Grisham. He passed it up ahead. Unselfish play, but it's turned over.
That's tough.
Muncie Central the other way. Layup, no. Grissom has it. Will sees the floor, and a timeout taken by the Golden Eagles. Edgington's coming back in. Wait for confirmation. It's a full or a 30. It's a full timeout. We'll take one as well. 2:26 left in the fourth. Back in a moment on IndianaSRN.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment, whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
Welcome back to Guerin Catholic High School. A 13-point advantage for the Golden Eagles. Jimmy Cook alongside the coach, Jalen Posey. Guerin Catholic coasting right along right now.
Easy like Sunday morning.
Nothing wrong with that if you're a Golden Eagle faithful. For Muncie Central, this tape won't be the easiest to watch. There's going to be areas where they could have made this a more competitive game, particularly from a rebounding standpoint. Well, Grissom, able to contort his body around that. Looked like he was going to fall for sure, and then just keeps his dribble in, keeps his balance there to keep the possession alive.
Man, they're letting them ride.
I think it's more evident now late game, but there were times where you saw that a lot, and it still was a play on.
Yeah, I agree.
In the first half. Atchison, 2 minutes left in this fourth quarter. Golden Eagles in no hurry. Grissom. He's got space. Layup is too strong. He had an extra step there on the defender. Could not get it to go.
And, to Muncie Central's credit, that's the thing, that when you're physical with a guy all night, free throw misses like he's had, layups like that he normally probably would make, that stuff's going to happen. He's going to get hit because he's a good player, but they've done their job to try to get him frustrated as you see him come out now.
Yeah, probably the last time we'll see him tonight with this game pretty well in hand, just over 90 seconds left to go.
No reason.
Good call by Coach Allen in general. Childress.
A little bit of a flop there.
Just a tad. Childress hanging. Too strong. Rebound Cherry. Jack. Lobs it into Etchinson. And I think part of that, they subbed Etchinson in just a couple possessions ago. It was getting a little bit sloppy on the Golden Eagles side.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about one of your more important players on the floor. He wanted Etchinson back in there.
Absolutely.
Kind of reset things. Timeout taken by the Golden Eagles. 30-second timeout. We will stay here. Guerin Catholic up by 13. They're going to reset things in the huddle. Today's game is brought to you by IHSAA Official. To become an IHSAA official, just contact Sandra Walter at ihsaa.org/officials. Get involved with the men and women behind the stripes. It's a great way to stay in shape and be a part of the game. Also, a reminder to subscribe to our sports page. Stay up to date with our sports page at IndianaSRN.org or at Troy at RadioTroy.com. And finally, a friendly reminder, this broadcast is copyrighted by IndianaSRN and the Indiana High School Athletic Association for the private use of our audience. The use of pictures, video, or audio without the express written permission of the IHSAA is prohibited.
You know, Jimmy, looking at it, I was looking at Will Grissom all night, looking at his game, but also the hair. And I was thinking, like, he reminds me of somebody. I couldn't figure it out. And then I realized, do you remember Mac McClung?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Viral star from Virginia.
Yeah. Called some AAU games of Mac's back in the day.
Yeah, that I think was who. He's not as athletic as Mac is.
Sure.
But just some of the head fakes, some aggressiveness driving to the basket.
Yeah.
His hair as well. That's who I was reminded of.
I see a little bit.
Will.
Sorensen. Baseline.
That was a nasty hesitation right there.
Could not get it to go.
Jimmy, did you get my text?
I can't read what it said. Let me get my phone out. And another timeout going to be taken. You can't take them with you, after all. Golden Eagles going to reset things. Coach, what do you see in there? From that aspect, do you think it's the pressure that's being applied? Do you want to make sure that they know how to break it moving forward? Or is it just...
I think so. Because, at this point, unless they have Tracy McGrady, you don't have somebody that's going to score 13 points in 42 seconds or anything like that. So I think that because Allen took this time out here, he's looking forward into the future. He had a semi-state team last year. Even though they lost a lot of people, they're saying, hey, how can we actually use this as a extended practice, right, for some of these players? Some of them are still young, and some of them are on that team last year and didn't have the opportunity to be in a game like this. They're going to have games like this in sectional where maybe, their shots aren't falling as much as they have been before. 45 points is kind of a low-scoring game right now. And so when it gets tight like this, when it's physical, how can we just ease the game out, right? How can we bleed it out instead of, making it worse?
I got to say, if you're looking at just a number standpoint, and we can't stress this enough, we've said it a number of times tonight, it's a very young season at this point in time. Bearcats were averaging 60 a game. I told you going into this, Golden Eagles, from a defensive standpoint in terms of points given up, about 10 points worse 3 games in for them they were a year ago, giving up about 60 a game, about half that tonight. Very stout defensive effort.
Absolutely.
By the Golden Eagles.
They defended really well tonight. And I think they rebounded really well, which is, to our point earlier, I think that was my third key of the game was them to rebound well. And I'm sure a lot of those points were second chances, opportunities in the beginning of the year. And for them to not allow that from Muncie Central is what's kept them to a low score of 32 tonight.
Foul committed by the Bearcats. So Robert Sorensen will head to the charity stripe. Icing this thing away. Grissom will take a seat. Kind of a quiet night for him. The big picture.
What do you have?
Unofficially, I believe I had him for 9. Again, we don't have communication with the official scorebook. And I'm usually off, so take that with a grain of salt. But
Sure.
but by comparison, averaging 28 a game, a quiet night in that regard.
Absolutely.
And he was also out for almost a whole quarter.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, you're going to take a win over stat padding any day.
Free throw misfired. Strong. His three won't fall. Final 30 seconds. Nice rebound there. He'll pass it ahead. Scariano's checked in the ball game. Some of the reserves in now for the Golden Eagles, and give credit to Muncie Central. I'm fine with – there's no need to foul right now. I'm fine with you still want to play full scale and speed it up, but
yeah,
no reason to foul.
No reason to foul. I mean,
particularly because Strong isn't a player that was just checked into the game at the end just to get a couple minutes. He's been out there the whole game.
Right. There's no reason to foul at all there.
And they've called themselves off a little bit there, and that will end the game. But we give credit to Muncie Central. I appreciate the effort. I appreciate not going quietly into that. This is a group that's going to win. I mean, I know it's easy to say that when they went winless a year ago, but this is a group that's going to win a lot of games this year. A physical test for them tonight that they weren't able to fully overcome, but never gave up in this one. Give credit to Guerin Catholic being the better team. Putting together a complete effort, I should say, tonight with the 14-point win.
Yeah, no, I agree. Moving forward, I think that, Muncie Central definitely they look better probably than they did at all last year. And this is a good team to come up against, even though they are 3A. And so I think we can look at Muncie Central and say, hey, they're growing. They're going to continue to grow, and hopefully they can get some more wins heading down the stretcher.
We'll have final thoughts plus a look ahead to upcoming broadcasts on the IndianaSRN family of networks and some post-game hardware as well after this post-game show. Up next, Guerin Catholic wins it by 14 on IndianaSRN.
You want a career that fuels your passion for sports and physical activity. IUPUI School of Health and Human Sciences offers that and more. You'll have insider access to sports, fitness, and exercise science professionals and learn from faculty with years of industry experience. And with Indy as your classroom, you'll study next to world-class sports facilities, Olympic governing bodies, the NCAA, and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to launch your sports industry career. It all starts here.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 22 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Welcome back to Guerin Catholic High School, a celebratory Guerin Catholic High School. Golden Eagles victorious tonight over Muncie Central. We'll have thoughts on that in just a moment, but first let's take a look at upcoming broadcasts on the IndianaSRN family of networks. Coming up on Tuesday, the International School will do battle against Central Christian, that on IndianaSRN.org. On Friday, we've got a nice boys-girls doubleheader. Boys and girls varsity action. Covenant Christian takes on Bishop Chatard, that on Friday. And also on Friday, Bethesda against Central Christian. That as well on IndianaSRN.org and on the IndianaSRN family of networks. And wrapping up a massive Friday of hoops, it'll be Heritage Christian against its very Guerin Catholic team that you saw. It's always a good rivalry matchup. It'll be a fun contest you don't want to miss on IndianaSRN.org.
Now we go to break.
We're going to step away. When we come back, we'll have final thoughts on this one, hand out some post-game awards, and close things out on IndianaSRN.
I'm Keith Myers, Vice President of IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. You know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year, all sorts of sports. Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably could help you too. Contact us at coach@indianasrn.org. Grandma from out of state thanks you. Mom and dad who can't get to the game thanks you as well. In fact, our athletes watch the games over and over again. Our military has enjoyed the games as well. So sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN.
They say nice guys don't finish first. So maybe it's time to reconsider what it means to be first.
It's about being your best, but knowing you could be even better.
It's being present, but respectful of history.
You sure you want to make that move?
It's donating something more valuable than money.
It's believing in yourself and something bigger.
It's coming from different families, but treating each other like brothers.
It's not just being a man, it's being a Mason.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Welcome back to Guerin Catholic High School, the final in this one. Guerin Catholic victorious 46-32. Jimmy Cook alongside the coach, Jalen Posey. Coach, let's hand out some post-game awards. Let's start first with your sixth man of the game honors, player that you thought impressed the most coming off the bench tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and have to go with number 42, Camilla Chandler Jr. He came in, was very aggressive on the boards, but also he made some big-time shots, had a couple floaters that went, and then there's that three at the end of the half, right, where it looked like he was going crazy, didn't know what to do. The seas parted for him, and he looked confident and just stroked it, giving the Golden Eagles some momentum going into halftime.
That's Camilla Chandler, our sixth man of the game tonight for the Golden Eagles. And as for player of the game honors, we had some back and forth debate. Actually going to give this as a co-award, I believe, tonight for the player of the game.
Yeah, we're going to give co-awards to Jack Cherry and Robert Sorensen, the sophomores for the Golden Eagles. And, in that third quarter when, their leading scorer, 28-point-per-game man, Will Grissom, went down, they kind of led the charge, right? Them along with, obviously, number 10, Matthew Etchinson, who kind of spearheaded it. But those two scored and really went on a run of their own to distance themselves after Muncie Central went on their own run to cut it to, I believe, 5. And then after their run, I think the score was 10 while Will Grissom was still on the bench. So Jack Cherry and Robert Sorensen are two young Golden Eagles who Guerin Catholic has to be excited about moving forward.
Well, let's take a look at upcoming matchups for both of these teams. For Muncie Central, they'll next be in action 6 days from now when they host Anderson at a 7:30 start time. They fall to 2-1 on the season. Meanwhile, the Golden Eagles of Guerin Catholic now 3-1 on the young campaign. 3 days off before they're at Pendleton Heights for a tough matchup at a 7:30 start time for the Golden Eagles. Want to give special thanks to Ken, doing a great job shooting the action for us at Guerin Catholic. Also want to thank Casey, doing a wonderful job directing us and keeping us afloat all night long. For my partner, the coach, Jalen Posey, I'm Jimmy Cook. Again, our final in this one, the Golden Eagles of Guerin Catholic 46, the Muncie Central Bearcats 32. Stay up to date with all of our games all week long on IndianaSRN.org and follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. And until we talk to you next time, so long, everybody.